So yeah, keep in mind we do these every single Sunday. So if you enjoy it, got in some games, or you didn't get into some games, definitely tune in. We do giveaways every single Sunday, and we do ranked workshops every single Sunday. The rest of our stream schedule is listed below. We do some giveaways throughout the week, but it's slightly less often because, of course, these things do cost money. Okay, so final picks and bans. Blue team has banned out LeBlanc, Fizz, and Heimerdinger because APs are OP apparently. Purple team has banned out Kassadin, Blitzcrank, and Shyvana. They have then picked up a Kha'Zix, which appears to be a Kha'Zix jungle, a Caitlyn, a Gragas mid, a support Annie, and a what appears to be top lane Nasus. Purple team then has a Leona support, a Shaco jungle, a Renekton top lane, a Nidalee mid, oh my, whoever would have guessed that he'd play that, and then Jinx AD carry. Both teams have a lot of CC. Oh wait, no, what am I saying? Blue team has a lot of CC. Purple team has shit all besides for
Purple
Leona.
team has Leona.
Yeah, purple team has Leona, and that's what matters.
Thank goodness that champion has not been nerfed yet.
Oh yeah, there's no reason to nerf her. It's funny, she is my lowest win rate champion of all time, and my like third most played. I have something like a 36% win rate with her.
Oh no.
I play her well, but every time I play her, my team trolls me. It's my Leona curse. I
I'm
had
sure,
something.
yeah.
I don't
My
even.
team is the issue, I swear.
Uh, yeah, it's Elo Hell. Shut up.
It's not letting me spectate you for some reason.
Game hasn't officially started yet. There's 2 minutes of delay. But yeah, like my ranked stats right now. Let's see here. I have a 57% win rate with Nami, a 57% win rate with Lux, a 60% win rate with Janna, 60% win rate with Victor, 53 with Nidalee, and then my Leona is like 41. And it's not like I have no games played of her either. It's like 25 or so games. And I
I
sometimes...
have that with Lulu. She's like my fifth most played champion. So like I have like Annie with a 72.5% win rate, then Ken with 69.4, Fiddlestick 66.7, Janna 58.3, Lulu 43.5.
My Lulu is 25% win rate.
Pretty decent.
Oh yeah, it's amazing.
I got you the win. But yeah, I'm so happy. I have so many champs that are at like 69% win rate, which is exactly
Very
right.
kinky. Oh, I forgot. It was my Caitlyn that's horrible. I have a 14% win rate with Caitlyn. And people wonder why I say I don't play AD carry. Because I'm shit at it. Yeah, it's kind of depressing that you have to lose about 60 or 70% of your placement games to even get placed into bronze to start with. I managed it on my Gangplank only account. Barely. I got placed into bronze 1. I won like one game and it gave me 50 LP and tried to promote me to back to silver. Oh, it's doing the same thing. Game should be starting though, so you should be able to spectate now. Give me a second though, because I'm having an issue spectating it. Okay, you should be able to spectate now.
There we go, yeah. We can spectate now.
Awesome. It's every day. Who has not loaded? Everyone, apparently, has. You could say a lot of weird, like, best North America insert build here. I was watching a guy on Twitch yesterday, and that's why I started playing AP Ezreal. He mains AP Ezreal, he streams it all the time. He's like gold 5 with silver 2 MMR. And he's like, this is why I play AP Ezreal, I main it, it's so good. It's like, okay, we get that you like a build, but it's like he's trying to advertise himself as the best AP Ezreal ever. It's like, well, you're gold 5. Not to insult him, I mean, he's perfectly fine, but... Have they announced when Season 4 is going to start yet? Last I checked, they haven't announced it. Yeah, they're going to do a new patch soon, because they're back from vacation today. Once that patch is out, they're going to start on the next patch, and I would assume that would be the actual pre-season, like the Season 4 patch. So I would say probably 2-3 weeks. Some cheesy little invades coming out here, but it's not really going to turn into anything. There's the pink ward I mentioned. Yay.
Already, huh?
Minions have spawned.
Have we talked about the matchups yet?
A little bit, not a whole lot.
No.
Feel free to.
Support Annie. I love her. I think support Leona though was a good choice against her. I think that Leona is one of the few things that can actually stand up to Annie and beat her, especially with Jinx. It's going to help her out a lot. The Jinx pick against Caitlyn too. Jinx has a really... She can lane against Caitlyn fairly easily compared to a lot of the other AD carries. Mid lane, Gragas versus Nidalee. I feel like that's just going to be a boring farm lane for a while. We might see some stuff coming out from Gragas once against Jinx, I don't know. And then top lane, we see Nasus versus Renekton. Renekton has the early game. Hopefully he'll be able to shove out Nasus and stop Nasus from snowballing into late. But yeah, we're not really seeing much there either. And then jungle-wise, we have two squishy AD carries in the jungle. Shaco's ganks are a little bit more scary early game than Kha'Zix, but we'll see what happens. Overall, purple team likes to be a little bit more early game oriented, whereas blue team is a little bit more late game oriented. We see a lot of damage coming out. Bot lane. Looks like they just traded. They're all pretty low except for Leona, who's above 50% health.
It's Leona.
We see again coming out now from Kha'Zix and Nasus top lane. Renekton's taking a lot of damage, but he isn't quite going to drop down low enough to be in danger of dying yet. We see Shaco. It looks like he's kind of trying to respond. He's setting up a trap in the brush, but Kha'Zix is not going to come down there to walk through it. Kha'Zix
I would
looks
want
like
them to dive
starting
onto
go
Kha'Zix as two.
Nasus taking a lot of damage. Renekton dangerously low now. He's going to have to be careful. And Shaco manages to deceive away. Not going to get caught out at all, but they know where Shaco is, and bot lane can breathe easy, especially with how extended they are, being right on the turret. They know that they're fine.
Jinx has already been forced back.
She took a lot of damage in between Annie and Caitlyn back there. Kha'Zix engaging onto Nully. She takes a lot of damage, however, he also eats a spear, dropping down to below 50% health. So a fairly even trade, but what this means is that Gragas is going to have an easier time in the mid lane. And Shaco, he needs to come around and hopefully he can make something happen. Because his lanes, all three of his lanes have been forced back or really low and are kind of having some difficulty.
Yeah, Gragas with that much health versus a half-health Nidalee, that's actually in kill range for him. His early game damage is a lot better now that his body slam is reliable. Yeah, he's not seeming to notice
See
that.
Shaco, he's engaging. His body slam does manage to hit her. Nidalee has to back off a bit, can't quite fully commit to it. We
Flash
do get a
out.
flash out of Gragas though, so Shaco, he kind of did his job there. He's still level 3 though, he's lagging a little bit behind Kha'Zix. But yeah, it looks like Shaco's just having a little bit of difficulty this game. But he is heading down. We're seeing a lot of pings coming out now from Andy and Caitlyn. They know that he's there. He got caught by the Vision Ward, and I don't think he realizes that he walked past it.
No one ever expects the pink.
I've had that happen a few times where people just like walk right past a Vision Ward. I'm like, okay, I appreciate it because I don't have to buy a new one now, but yeah, they're just busy looking at somewhere else on the screen.
Yeah, Renekton putting a lot of pressure on top lane, but it's not really turning into anything for him. Like, he's half of Nasus' CS.
Yeah, the early game ganks from Kha'Zix really put him behind and is making his lane a lot of, quite very difficult. He's not really able to shut down Nasus in the way that you'd expect him to be able to.
My concern, though, is that he's down so much CS, he's been camped heavily. Why is he pushing into turret?
See, Shaco, it looks like he's hanging around the turret. He might go for a lane gank. Yeah, he's going to see if he can flash, or rather deceive over that wall, but he's still level 3. He's not really that strong right now. He has to be very careful.
Personally, as a Shaco, you should pretty much just farm. Kha'Zix gank coming in mid. Gragas fails his body slam, actually. He uses it right into a minion, and of course it doesn't go through them.
That's the thing with Shaco. If you can't really make the plays happen, unfortunately, you do have to farm jungle.
Yeah.
Top lane isn't going to happen because Nasus is shoved so far. Gragas is a really difficult gank to pull off. And then Caitlyn and Andy, they're just really safe right now, and they're just not letting themselves get caught out.
They seem to have good map awareness because, as you said, they're noticing that the Shaco's there for that split second that he's visible. They're noticing how he's positioning and that sort of thing. We'll see if it happens again or if it was just a fluke. But keeping an eye on the match and actually doing it properly is very important.
Yeah. And because Shaco's had to waste so much time, he's really behind right now compared to Kha'Zix, who's level 5, who has double long sword, who's a little bit more ahead.
Wombo combo works in all elos if you play it well.
Combo combo's hilarious, and I love it.
Like, you can play literally anything and get to diamond with it if you play it well. That's why
Jane
you see...
Purple, sorry, something I'm noticing is that Jinx, she's actually having a lot of difficulty CSing. Like, even when Annie isn't zoning her,
Yeah.
she's missing some really easy CS, and that makes me a little bit worried for her.
Yeah, well, she's now at half of the CS of Caitlyn.
Yeah. It's not a good position to be in, especially when you have a Leona. Leona isn't really a good defensive support. Like, She's there to kind of all-in engage and explode someone. And
Yeah.
if you aren't ahead, or if you aren't at least even with the enemy laner,
Really
it's
good
gonna be
positioning
really
from
hard.
Annie, though. Like, this is exactly how you play support. You zone, and you don't let them farm.
Yeah.
I always see people on the forums just being like, oh my god, support can't do shit, they're a heal bot. Well, no, if you play them like this, you get all up in their face, you don't let them farm, you burst them low, you do what you need to do. Oh, I would have comboed there. That was a free kill
Yeah,
for Annie.
same. That was a beautiful thing.
Yeah,
actually.
as soon as the trap hit, Annie should have gone in, auto-attacked so that it wasn't a wasted stun duration, and then used her full combo and ignite, and it would have been a free kill. She has an ignite up, like... But that being
Even
said,
though
though,
Jinx has her barrier, like she still would have been brought in really low. Like Caitlyn, if
Nidalee's
she
coming bot,
still
but there's
had
no way for
that.
her to get a kill. Like, Caitlyn...
Yeah,
They've already bullied Jinx out. Nidalee's not really going to be able to do anything there. Looks like they're donating blue buff over to Gragas. Good for him. Yeah, good for him. Nidalee's back mid. Not really going to lose any farm. 1 CS. Who cares? Yeah, that damage coming out on Nidalee is kind of crazy. The Gragas'
see
base
Shaco.
damages are huge.
Shaco trying to kind of get some harass onto Nasus, but Nasus he just doesn't care. He just trades it right back. And Shaco being brought really low, he's just not really able to make the plays. We
Oh.
see that was a weird way to do that.
That was a really bad combo, actually, by Shaco. Deceive, use the backstab, then use your clones so that you can send your clone after them.
Come on, Renekton.
No, he's not even going to get it.
Oh no, not able to get it. Nasus has boots and Renekton doesn't.
We're trying to cut off the... good kill onto Nidalee. I don't know why she went up there. It was like, I'm going to fight their Kazakhs, and then just dies. That just seemed like an odd choice to me.
I feel kind of bad for Shaco just because like all three of his lanes are losing, and I play jungle every now and then, and like the worst situation to be in is like all three of your lanes are losing. They're all demanding you get there, and like you just can't do it. It's
That's when you
stressful.
mute your entire team and go farm rights.
Pretty much. We saw an engagement coming in between Nasus and Renekton. Nasus is so far ahead right now that he's actually able to 1v1 Renekton without a hitch. Nasus just has so much armor. He has the Glacial Shroud, which gives him the mana as well as the CDR to help him with his Q stacks. We see Leona, she goes in, she takes a lot of damage from Annie and Caitlyn. Her ultimate comes down, we see Jinx, she flashes, but isn't quite able to pick up the kill. Because she's still level 5, whereas Caitlyn's level 7, she doesn't have her ultimate, so she isn't able to finish off Caitlyn. And they're able to turn it around and pick up the kill.
The
They
double
also
kill.
pick up the kill on Leona, though, who got forced away from her turret by
Nidalee is
Kha'Zix
coming
switching
down and
for
might be
that.
able to snipe something here.
Come on. Oh,
But that's still about enough time, though, so Nidalee's going to be able to get 1 and 2.
a double kill, yeah.
That's exactly what she needed to get back into the game. She's not down a lot, but she was lagging behind the Gragas here.
Yeah, like, she is slightly behind CS, and the Gragas has 1 assist.
Yeah. So that's exactly what she needed here, just that little nice chunk of gold.
The unfortunate thing now, though, is that Jinx died. She's still level 5, whereas Caitlyn level 7, and the mid laners are level 9. She really has to be careful because of how behind she is, especially at 26 CS. You see a bit of pinging coming around bot lane and mid lane. It looks like they might make a play for Dragon sometime soon. Shaco's been spotted by Gragas, who body slams in, but isn't able to connect with him. They're kind of dancing around each other, not really sure who's going to make the first move, not sure what to do right now. Kha'Zix looks like he's found Shaco, he's chasing after him, but Shaco just moves away. Looks like they're kind of backing off, and they're going back to lane and kind of keeping up with that.
I was just going to point out that Gragas has got a lot of damage onto this mid turret. If they force Nidalee out, or if Nidalee tries to roam, that's a tower down.
Yeah.
And that's actually a really good position to be in. Gragas, his roam is fine still, but it's not nearly what it used to be, where you just jump over every single wall. You're essentially a cast-in level of roam, except you have like high range CC. he doesn't have that anymore. His roam is dangerous and not very easy. They are collapsing onto the Shaco here. Good Annie
Takes a
stun.
lot of damage.
Body slam
but he
slow.
managed to get deceived. He does get away because Gragas runs in the opposite direction of where Shaco is going. It looks like Jinx and Leona, they're both going in now. Kazakh's getting really low, but they turn around. We see the Leona ultimate, but it doesn't connect with anyone. Gragas coming in onto Shaco, but he takes a lot of damage. We see Shaco getting hit by the Caitlyn ultimate, but does not go down. Gragas also low. He has to flash to get away from it. Leona, she uses her Shield of Jayberg, but isn't able to connect yet until she hits Kha'Zix, who's getting taken really low by Nidalee. Nidalee gets forced away, uses her barrier. Her spear barely missing Kha'Zix.
Oh, that
Great
walking back
connection
into
right
the
there
team.
with the Zenith Blade onto Caitlyn. She's taking a lot of damage, and it looks like Caitlyn's going to pick up a third kill for herself and a third kill for her team.
Yeah, I just noticed though that she seemed to be trying to get back into this bush and walked back into their team, and that's what ended up getting her caught out. She was safe. She would have lived, as far as I'm concerned.
Nidalee taking a bit of a bad choice there with where she goes. Leona, she does go down. Jinx getting onto Kha'Zix, getting hit by Kha'Zix right now, getting taken really low. But it looks like Kha'Zix is going to back off. He's not going to try and turret dive her because he knows that if he does try that, well, he might pick up the kill. He probably won't survive the turret dive. Nidalee in a very dangerous position right now. She's fairly low. Gregus' ultimate is going to be up in 10 seconds, and he has his Ignite. She has to be really careful, just because he can all-in her really soon. And especially with that turret being so low. You see the Jinx ultimate come down, tries to hit Kha'Zix with it, but he barely dodges it. Could have been a red for her, but unfortunately she wasn't quite able to pick it up. We see some Shaco walking right past a ward. We know exactly where he is, and you know he's trying to go for Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix, instead of going B, walks further back into his base into safety, so that doesn't happen.
Nasus is actually just proxy farming top right now, and Renekton seems to be falling for it. If they're proxy farming, you farm at your turret. Like, you're giving up the entire wave, you're giving up turret damage, and you're not going to be able to kill him. He's just going to farm his Q.
Yeah.
Like, that entire fight, and he's at over 3/4 of his health. He could have literally just stayed there and kept killing minions. Oh, he did have...
We see
minions in
Shaco coming
shuffle.
down to Nasus, but Renekton isn't there.
I don't know why he
Cannot follow up
ulted.
on anything. See the ultimate come down from Nasus, but they're not really able to pick up the kill there.
The Shaco ult was
Those-
just out of nowhere, where he just did his clone and then stood still. And that's the
Yeah,
second
that
time
was
he's
kinda
kind of done
weird.
that now. Hey, Kha'Zix coming in here. That's going to be a free kill over onto Renekton if they catch it. They definitely will. There we go.
Yeah.
Red buff is up. I would like to see them maybe steal that away now that they have 3 people in that side of the map. Nope, Shaco's going to pick that up for himself.
Scotland, they are still really one-sided in favor of Caitlyn, who has over double Jinx's CS right now. And with that turret down, they know that Shaco's in the top lane. They know that they can keep pushing onto the second turret here. They're completely safe. Nidalee also roaming top lane. They can still pressure and deny Jinx a lot of farm.
Now, Caitlyn's already done her Bloodthirster, whereas Jinx only has a Brawler's Glove and Vamp Scepter. She doesn't even have boots, doesn't have a BF sword, nothing. So she's not going to be able to fight
Yeah.
at all. Shaco moving towards bot lane here, Kha'Zix as well. So they're clearing out the pink ward there. I don't know, I think they're just a little bit too split out here. Annie has not charged her stun.
Oh.
Yeah, now
We see Kha'Zix, he runs it onto Shaco, who drops his health bar. And Jinx, also dangerously low. Leona's the only one who can really take hits right now, and she's just going to get ignored.
Annie barely
And
misses
that's
the
the free
tibbers onto them. I feel that she should have stuck with Kha'Zix. So he kind of knew what he was trying to do there, but he needs someone to go with him. Nidalee coming down
Yeah.
here. We'll see if she's able to snipe anything away.
Looks like Team Blue, at this point,
Greg is
they know
going
that
to get a free
Shaco's
turret
super
mid.
low. Yeah, free turret mid, they have to kind of respond to that. I feel like they could make the play for Dragon, because it's a 4v3.
Mm-hmm.
Jinx is so low.
Your team's turret has been
Leona is just kind of there. And
Yeah, I don't think
Nidalee-
they could really stop them. So if I were them, Just take the dragon. Well, obviously get the Leona first because you just got a kill onto her. But now just swap over,
Yeah.
take a free dragon, and then you can either go back and buy, or you can cycle somewhere else if you see another opportunity.
The thing they have to be careful about now, though, is that because Shaco has been allowed to get back, he might come in here to see if he can get it. But his attention is on Caitlyn instead. So they know this Dragon's going to come for free. See a lot of damage. She dodges the Jinx ultimate, or rather, the Jinx ultimate misses her. Lots of damage coming up from Shaco. We see the flash. Not quite able to pick up the kill, though, as he gets exploded by Gragas and Annie and Cosmos.
I want them to turn on to Jinx here. Oh, he delayed a little
And
bit
top
too long.
lane.
He doesn't have his jump evolved
Top
yet,
lane, we see-
so he wasn't able
Oh,
to go
no.
in. He did have flash. I think he could have just flash Q void spiked, and it would have picked up the Jinx.
So poor Renekton, he's having so much difficulty against Nasus, who just walked past the second turret into him and is now proxying by like the inhibitor. That's kind of a ticking time bomb top lane that they're going to have to do something about.
Honestly, that bomb's already exploded all over his pants. Like,
Yeah, it's yeah.
it's
there's
just
no
a sticky mess up there.
Ugh, I hate a sticky mess. I'm done. But we see Kha'Zix and Annie. They're going on to Leona. However, she uses her shield ability. The ultimate goes down, Nidalee doing a lot of damage to them. Leona flies in. She manages to connect with a Zenith Blade.
It's
Nidalee
actually a
picks
really
up
good
the
combo.
other kill. It worked out really well.
The
Um,
damage coming out from the Leona ult followed up by the Nidalee Cougar form, it procced the Leona passive and absolutely decimated them in terms of damage.
Purple team's turret has
The other thing we saw was Annie and Kha'Zix. They burned a lot of stuff on Leona while her Eclipse was up. So the damage potential that they had was greatly reduced. Jinx, she uses her flash. She does manage to get away. But yeah, that was a dangerous position. She just put herself in there.
It's 20 minutes in, and Nasus now has 369 Q stacks.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, as we mentioned, that bomb has passed. It's already here.
However, Nasus, he is 4-0. He is actually the most fed member of the blue team. I'm interested to see him trying to fight at some point. Because he could easily just start roaming and turn this game into a victory. We've seen
He's
Nidalee,
teleporting
great
at bot
connection
lane,
with that spear. Once again, Leona, she's been so on point with her Zenith Blades. It's really helped her out. We see a teleport, though, coming in from Nasus. Was in onto Leona, but Shaco and Nidalee are here. He uses his ultimate, but he's trying to go down really quickly. Nidalee, she's able to get away, turns around. Leona also getting low, but Nidalee manages to catch the get the shutdown gold.
Yeah, that's just cockiness from Nasus here. He didn't need to do that.
Yeah.
There was honestly no reason for him to. Also, he has his
No.
Sheen, but he's opted to go for Spirit Visage, Frozen Heart first. He's not built a Frozen Gauntlet, so he's not going to have that extra slow, that extra AoE. And honestly, like, Spirit Visage is great because you're dealing with the Nidalee, but past that, it's not really needed. Great combo there by Annie, just saying, yeah, you can try
Not
and
sure
dive
why
if you want.
Leona stuck around. Like, Leona was super low. Annie, while her damage potential is kind of low because she doesn't really have any AP items at this point, she still is a burst mage. And, like, if you're at 20% health, even if you're Leona, you have to be mindful of that because she will take you down.
Exactly. And even after the combo, Leona decided to keep diving. It's like, okay, why?
Yeah, I know. I was like, what? I think she's maybe expecting Caitlyn or Jinx and Nidalee to, or rather Shaco and Nidalee to go in on that, but they chose not to.
Yeah, kills just aren't that important, though. You're already taking a tower. She can't defend it, really. She wouldn't have got the kill if you were just a little bit more passive. I think that was just too much aggression, not needed. Blue going over to Kha'Zix. Poor Greggy. No Greggy ice for him.
No. Well, he's already got, that beard stuff. He needs to die. He doesn't need the blue. Also, Gragas has a Chalice of Harmony, so like the 20% CDR and managing regen would be nice, but it's not really mandatory for him right now.
It's 10% CDR now, they nerfed it.
Really?
Yeah, blue buff only gives 10% CDR. It makes me cry. That's
I'm such a noob. I've been so enamored with the Dominion, I didn't even notice.
yeah, they
I also
changed it
play
with the
support now,
preseason
so I don't
patch.
get it.
It's all the random bullshit. Oh, we want people to build CDR if they want CDR. It's like, no, just give me all of it.
Dang, I should probably look over the Sunrise for patch notes because I'm like, yeah, I can do this.
They are pretty extensive. Like, you don't notice them because they're rather subtle, but it's a lot of gold and game flow changes. Where it's just like,
I've just been doing my Zara support and stuff, and it's been going like really well. So I'm like, whatever.
yeah. Well, right now, if you get like a level 1 First Blood, it's worth like 180 gold. It's worth nothing.
That's something I remembered too. Is like the jungle fights are no longer as game defining. Like,
Yeah, they do pretty much nothing right
yeah.
now. Where you waste a skill and you get like 100 gold and you don't have time to go back. It's like, well, that was fun. We didn't get anything from it.
Nidalee, she's doing a really good job. She's connectors, and Team Blue is taking a lot of harass from her. I absolutely hate Nidalee for this purpose. I find that she's so good at stalling out matches, and having to dodge a spear like every 6 seconds is just so annoying, and so it gets to you. Yeah, and Caitlyn.
That's why I miss AP Janna, because you could stall a game indefinitely. Just, oh, you want to push this tower? No, you're all knocked up, took 400 damage each, and the minion wave's gone. Thanks for the farm. She was so much fun. I miss her. Yeah, Nidalee has all but 1 kills on her team. Closing in on top lane, Chaco is going to deceive away. Not sure if they're... Yeah, they definitely get this, never mind. I thought there was at least one more blue team coming up. They almost took Jinx with him. That's how fed he is right now. That, like, 1 Q and an auto attack almost kills Jinx.
They have to be careful because all 5 of them were there. It means that Caitlyn and Gragas are going to put a lot of damage out onto this turret.
And as we see there, the Jinx ult, it does no damage. It does increase damage when they're low health, so using it to, like, quote-unquote stall a push or stop them from pushing does nothing.
Yeah, it's like 250 damage plus, like, 76 from her bonus AD.
Yeah.
So it's not really that powerful. We see Gragas, he's going for blue. Caitlyn and Annie heading towards
That would be
it.
a dragon, not a blue.
That's the one, yeah.
Yep.
I'm also tired, don't judge.
I get to judge you because I've misspoken so many times tonight.
Uh,
And then Brian makes fun of me and taunts me and makes me cry. It's true. You guys can't hear all the hate that he's sending my way. It's true.
I just hear a voice in the background, and I can just barely make it. I have no clue what he's saying. It's like, oh god.
So Nasus now has 456 stacks. Nasus could go for Triforce, or he could go for Iceborne Gauntlet. Iceborne Gauntlet wouldn't actually be that bad on him. Like, it's still a really powerful item. Trinity Force obviously is higher damage, but when you have this many Q stacks, it doesn't even matter.
Oh my goodness, Nasus taking a massive chunk out of Shaco with a single Q. We see Nidalee, she does get caught out by Nasus. The Gragas ultimate coming in, Shaco exploding, still trying to chase after Nidalee, but it looks like they've changed targets onto Jinx, who goes down.
The
And now they're gonna
damage.
finish off, Leona. Nasus going out for Nidalee just takes her down.
Every
that's bad.
swing
Nasus
of that
finished it.
axe is just boom. Yeah, so again, gonna get an inhib off that. In the meanwhile, Caitlyn pushing bot lane. Great job. She wasn't needed for that fight, so why shouldn't she take another tower?
Yeah.
They've got the inhib off that. Objectives aren't up. Like, red, blue isn't up, dragon isn't up. Baron is a little risky for them still. Obviously, Nasus can absolutely decimate the thing with his stacks and his tankiness, but there's no reason for them to risk it when they're this far ahead. Heal up and buy first. At this point, it's about 11,000 gold advantage by 27 minutes. Oh, Caitlyn. What are you doing, girl?
See the flash come down. But once again, Leona, I've been so on point with these Zenith blades.
Boom.
See the ultimate come down, manages to tag her. Such a nice support. Oh my goodness.
Oh, that E.
Gives the kill to Shaco. Kaylin, it looks like Kaylin going to get away, but she hits him again with the Zenith blade and captures her.
That was hilarious because she's just like, okay, here's a free kill. They get away. Oh, I'll just hit them again with a really difficult to hit Zenith Blade. Yeah, she has been completely on point with those. Nasa's coming in from the side though, raid boss.
Oh god, can I do it?
Keeps focusing
Have
shot
to make
though.
sure the heroes juggle the aggro. Stay behind your tanks.
Yeah, he's just... No, he's just having some fun right now. He's not even really trying. He's still
Oh
gonna
my
take
God.
them with him.
That's terrible. We see Kha'Zix, he's at the top lane start. He's probably going to take this down, get an inhibitor if they don't respond in time.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Nasus at this point is just being a big beefy distraction and just laughing and bleeding them around the map. As much as that's sort of bad form, it is working. It's letting
Yeah.
Kha'Zix get free objectives.
Kha'Zix, he goes back in on Italy for some reason, and he does get taken down by her.
Yeah, I do not want.
It's interesting because, like, the kills are actually fairly even, but the gold is not at all. And all the gold is just in Italy.
Yeah, and the problem with this is it all boils down to farm. Caitlyn has double Jinx's farm. Nasus has a significant advantage. Kha'Zix has a huge advantage. Gragas has like 10 CS, so not a big deal. But
That's
all
the
of
thing,
them
it's like-
have more farm.
Even though Italy is doing better than Gragas, Gragas is still doing really well.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's not slacking by any means. It just happens that Nidalee is getting these pickups. She's showing up
Yeah.
where she needs to. I
Like,
do have to
anytime
say, though, I
Gragas
am
shows
quite
up.
impressed with his Nidalee. I played a duo queue game with him the other day, and it was the same thing, where it's just like really on point positioning and spears.
hmm I heard that, like, in the last tournament or something, they show, like, champ picks, ban statistics, and all that kind of stuff. And I know that I think Elise was, like, the most picked and banned champion, but I think Nidalee was, like, number 2 or 3 or something.
She's
She's-
really
she's
popular
so
right
strong.
now. Raid Boss Nasus has shown up again. Gonna take away the red because he can just half health it.
He just doesn't care.
Yeah. Oh, it's 1v4 again. So we'll see how many he takes with him.
Like, Nasus, I get what you're doing, man, but, like, you need to be aware that if your team isn't there, bad things happen. Thankfully, his team does show up. We see the kill getting picked up onto Italy, which is what they need.
Oh.
Jinx getting taken dangerously low. The Caitlyn ultimate not even able to go off before Nasus takes her down. And Leona, she uses her Shurelia's, the new Shurelia's item for herself and so the rest
It's
of the team.
Talisman of Ascension. Where have you been?
I'm so wrong about everything.
You're so wrong, but you feel so right. I feel so bad for Purple Team right now because they played really quite well. It's not like they're making huge misplays. It's just Nasus. He got so farmed.
Nasus got found, like, Shaco just wasn't able to make the plays that he needed.
How much farm does he have before this ends? 537 Q stacks on him. It's not the most I've seen on Nasus by this point of the game, but it's pretty damn solid.
Yeah, that's a
And
lot.
Jinx is running off to try and pick up kills. In the meanwhile, though, Nasus busy dancing in base. Dancing on the inhib. The skeleton of the inhib. Okay, well, good games, everyone. That is our last workshop game of the day. Thank you for everyone who participated. Thank you for all of our donators who make all of our giveaways possible, and for all of you who are able to help advertise and all that good stuff. I will have Steven again go over the item builds and comments on that, and then we'll, I guess Brian will maybe do a viewer game with you guys? Yeah, Brian will do a viewer game with you guys. So if you want to join for the viewer game, join the Pro for Never chat room. Anyways, hit it, Steven.
Oh yeah. Alright, so Gragas, fairly standard build here. I like the Chalice, 20% CDR, and the mana regen really benefits him. The Death Cap and the Void Staff, he's a super relevant damage threat. He, high impact spells, really impressed with his build. And the Negatron Cloak was probably there because Nidalee was the only one that was doing damage. Caitlyn, fairly standard Caitlyn build. We see the Bloodthirster, which helps with radio ratios, and as well as the Last Whisper. I like Infinity Edge on Caitlyn as well. I feel like she could have built that at some point too. Her base attack speed's fairly low. I don't know if I like the static shiv necessarily, but I'm fairly just impeccable the same. Kha'Zix, he didn't build the mirror mana, so happy about that. He went jungle Pretty good juggle build. I like that he has the early penetration with the Last Whisper. The Hydra helps him with the clear. Uh, Yanni, we see she has the fairly standard Annie build. I like that she has the greater lens, the ward sweeping trinket helps her out there. She got Ionian Boots of Lucidity, so she can use her passive as much as possible. Um, Pretty standard support build. She didn't really get to build much, but she also
You
didn't
don't
get that
build
much gold.
Boots of Ludicity on any support. You build Boots 5. You play it like an
Yes,
Annie.
that's what I figured. I was like, I don't know if I like that, but whatever. That's what it is. And then Nasus, super fed. He's got the Triforce, got the Frozen Heart, got the Spirit Visage. He is never going to die, as we saw. He's going to do all the damage. Um, Pretty nasty. Renekton, unfortunately, Renekton just wasn't able to do much that game. Nasus just became too out of control. We see the Brutalizer for some damage. Sunfire Cape, I'm not sure if I necessarily agree with that, but if you need help against your opponent like Nasus, I guess the armor would help out. I think I'd prefer Randuin's over Sunfire Cape, though. In that
The
sense.
current meta is every single top laner rushes Sunfire Spirit Visage. Every single top laner.
Really?
Yeah, that's why it's being nerfed next patch. Because
Okay.
right now, the entire like top picks for top laners, they're all like Mundo, Shyvana, Renekton. They're all
Oh yeah, they
people
all
who
have
just
like the AoE magic. Yeah.
yeah,
They can
they're all
stand-
AoE magic damage. You throw a Sunfire Cape on them, you throw a Spirit Visage on them because it's the most gold efficient magic resist item on them. It's a huge amount of cooldown reduction, and it's a lot of healing. And then you run 0-30-0, and you abuse the defensive masteries. You're
Okay.
absolutely unkillable. And then you just rely on your base damages and the AoE magic.
I've used some mini builds where like you actually get to build damage and fun stuff, and not just like
No, this is
tank
Summoner's
and
Rift.
base.
No fun is allowed.
Ugh, that's so boring. Oh well. Renekton, good job with your build then. Shago, he looks like a very similar build to what Kha'Zix had. But because he was so far behind in gold, he wasn't able to get Blast Whisper. Leona, I like the Leona build. She's got the locket, which gives her the CDR, the shield. She's got the Talisman of Ascension. I like Shurelia's on her. Um,
Yeah, Shirelia's is core on pretty much all supports right now.
yeah. The Chalice of Harmony, she may have been trying to build Mikhail's. I think I would have gone for something else. But
Yeah,
pretty decent.
because Nidalee was the only one actually picking up the kills on the team, using a cleanse on Nidalee, if she's caught, she's dead.
That's true, yeah.
So I don't agree with that choice. If I were her, I would have built on Leona towards a Sunfire or a Randuin's. I
Yeah,
also
something like
might have
that.
suggested a Boots 5 on her, because she's tanky enough, especially if you're already building more tank items than she had. The move speed, in order to help other lanes and get in and out of these team fights, would be pretty damn useful.
Yeah, the Merc Treads, yeah, I agree. They feel kind of unnecessary. Like, if they're focusing you anyways, like you're doing your job.
Yeah, the only CC she'd be reducing is Nasus Wither, and if they wither a Leona, well, you've done your job. And the Annie
Yeah.
stun, who's she's gonna stun you anyways?
Um,
So I don't know.
Italy, she did the best with what she had. She built the Death Cap. We see the Chalice of Harmony, which is good, so she could spam spears all day.
I would have liked
Um,
to see an earlier Void Staff. She
yeah,
built
she
Death
has the
Cap before Void
components of
Staff.
it, but she wasn't able to finish it on time, unfortunately.
Usually you would do Void Staff before Death Cap, because you need somewhere in the range of 300 AP before Death Cap becomes viable.
Yeah,
It's different on every champion in team comps and stuff, but the general rule is like 300, 350 AP by the time Death Cap is actually useful. And
Like,
by that
especially
point,
the
it's like
fact that,
third
like,
item.
especially because she was getting all the kills. Like, the enemy team knew, like, Nidalee's the only one who's a threat. Just build Magic Resist, and we can kind of nullify that and take
Yeah, well,
advantage.
Gragas
So, like,
had Magic Resist, and Nasus had Magic Resist. And so...
Kha'Zix had some with the Merc Treads.
yeah, a little bit. So I think that would have served better.
Yeah. And then finally, Jinx, she needed to farm, and she didn't.
Yeah, she got zoned by Annie, but you also mentioned, even when she wasn't being zoned, she was missing a lot of easy CS.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, well, I'm going to transfer it over to Brian here. He's going to play some viewer games, and I'm going to go... I guess I already showered today. I don't need to shower. But I can go, like, eat or something. I don't know. Well, usually I shower after my stream, but I guess I don't need to.